right? Here with Wheeling Nailers head coach Derek Army after the 6-3 loss to the Indy Fuel. Derek, just give us your overall thoughts on tonight's game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the whole game plan, I think the idea was to not let them get, comfortable, get their bus legs out, and you go up 1-0, and then we had 2 breakaways and a 2-on-1 to make it 2-0. And at that point, if you make it 2-0, it's a different game. And unfortunately, right now for this team, you let them hang around. They get one on a, missed coverage on our part, and then they I thought the PK was actually doing well, and they get a bounce it their way. Unfortunately, it just seems to not bounce for us right now. And then in the second, we fell asleep, and they made us pay again, just like they did the second before. And then it's just 4-goal lead is a hard lead to claw back from. Good to see the guys answer and pour it on, but just too little, too late.
You mentioned the unfortunate bounces, and it seemed like they were in quick succession in unfortunate ways. The one being the power play goal, and then after one that is Spencer Watson is banking one in off of Lemos.
Yes.
To go from there. How is it hard to get your team mentally back into that after you go, man, it's had two bad bounces?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's not going for us necessarily. So you have to find a way in that room to make it go. It's not one of those that anyone's going to give it to you. You have to figure it out yourself in that room, and we have to figure it out. And it's kind of one of those where you got to look in the mirror and see what you're made of. And I thought some guys stepped up in the third and had a good third, but it's one of those we need that from the start. And it's every game so far. It's the same thing in Indy. Up 2-1 going into the second. You have a power play to make it 3-1, and you have a power play to make it to push the lead even further. We had a couple of grade A chances after they score, and we just can't seem to figure out that. And I know the guys are bearing down, but it has to go in the net, and there's just no other way around it.
3 for 8 on the power play this evening, scoring the first one, then scoring your last 2 chances. What did you think of that overall?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see. I was a little. I was not pleased to see the 5-minute and then the 5-on-3 and us not really not convert. Now we had some really good looks, and those are the ones that got to go in. But then they answered, and we got 2 that went our way, and so that was great to see. It was good to get that rhythm, I guess you could say. But one of those for sure that I think early we needed them to convert in that start of that third, end of the second. But they did come up big. It's good to see that because we have struggled on the power play, so it's good to get some goals, and that hopefully should fuel us moving forward.
You mentioned the pouring it on basically in that third period. 51 shots is a season high for this team, but how about starting out 20-0 in shots in that third period?
Yeah, that Driscoll's had our number, even going back to last year. He's played really well against us. Last game you score 4, and I think for us defensively, and typically that's a game that you win, you score 4 goals, you're going to win the game just by the sheer nature of how we play defense. And then tonight, obviously, you can't give up 5 goals, you're not going to win that game. But one of those, it was good to see it crack. You can't, you don't want to let a goalie just kind of keep dictating things. And you saw at the end, he started to get a little scrambly after giving up a couple, and they're getting a little chatty with the rest. So they're on the ropes, and that's a good hockey team. But we just have to find a way to keep going. But I think moving forward, it's a good step.
Yeah, I was going to basically go with that too. A great third period to come out with it, and how does that push you forward to being in the jungle tomorrow against Fort Wayne?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing going into Fort Wayne last couple of weeks ago, where I think we needed a win, and we were able to get one. And then it'll be the same thing today. We got to get out of this little slump here. I'd say it's a low point for us, and in that you're 1-4 in your last 5, and maybe 3 of those deserve a different result. This one I think held true, but it was one that for us, only we can find our way out of it. And it's going to be work. It's going to be some big saves. It's going to be us capitalizing on chances, and it's not going to be an easy game. They're a team that's a really good hockey team that plays us really hard. So it's one that we better be ready to go, and better be ready to push the pace, and better be ready to give our all in a Nailers hockey type game.
Thank you, Derek, for a few moments of your time.
Thank you, Isaac.